Guys, Deluded Guna, I'm back again. Let's talk about Aubameyang, however you want to pronounce it. Apologies to the man, 'cause I don't like getting people's names wrong. But Aubameyang, yeah, let's speak about him. You guys have been asking me to, and I didn't want to at first, but it's looking like it's going to happen. And again, it still hasn't happened, so we ain't signed him yet, but it's looking like it could happen. So let's get into it. Before I get into the nitty and gritty, I didn't believe it would happen at first. Can you blame me, guys? Because when it comes to these high ticket, top class players, Arsenal dither and mess around, and you're actually ironically seeing that in the Aubameyang transfer is dragging. We're never going to know the ins and outs, whether it's poker face, whether they're legitimately incompetent or whatever. But yeah, man, I must admit I've changed my opinion several times on the guy. One minute I thought he was good, then I thought he's a bit robbed, then I think he's good, then I think he's a bit robbed. Now I'm going to have to run some agendas. Like, for me right now, we're going to have to... Arsenal fans, we know he's not better than Harry Kane, at least at this moment in time. Kane is that bracket above him. But we're going to have to run these sort of things and be shameless. But now let's get back to being serious. I'm happy on the basis that, yes, he's a completely different player from Alexis Sanchez. One's a winger, one's a striker. But in terms of replacing our output, you saw what Alexis got last season. This season, he was a shadow of his former self. He's still technically our second top goal scorer. So on the basis that we're replacing some output, I'm happy. Are we going to do 4-3-3 of some sorts, where in reality it's Ozil and Laka and Aubameyang up front, so actually a 2 and him right behind? Is it going to be another 4-3-3 where it's just 3 strikers and they're all interchanging? I've spoke about Giroud could be used in that, or you could use 3 attacking sort of players. Are we going to use 3-5-2? Are we even going to use 2 at the back? And we can't rule it out. I don't want it to happen. I don't think it will happen. But Lacazette has been used out wide before, and so has Aubameyang, and you know how Wenger is, so we can't rule that out. I'm keen to see how that one goes. But in regards to the player, we all know, like, them times there, he's come a long way, man. He's come a long way at 27, 28, where he is now, because he was a reball. I remember when he was at AC Milan, going on several loans, flopping really in League 2, League 2, in France, not really doing any mad bits. Like, he was really a journeyman for a while. He actually could have ironically played for Spain. He could have played for France. He could have played for Italy. He was actually called up by Italy for the under-19s, and he they also tried to get him when he got under-21 cap. His dad was an AC Milan scout as well as being a former player, so you can see how he ended up where he did. But yeah, man, 2010-11, he had 4 goals in like 30 plus games in France. So he was a reboy. His Monaco loan, he only got 2 goals. Lille, he only scored 2 goals in 20 appearances. He only got 8 in 30 odd for Dijon. So yeah, man, Saint Etienne, he made his name for himself in the 2011. I've got here 2012, where he got 18 goals, 11 assists. Big games, we've seen him do that as well, man. I've seen him bag about 2-3 times against Madrid. We've seen him bag against Spurs in Europa League at White Hart Lane. So he's already in Arsenal fans' hearts, in the same way Lucas Moura will probably be when he completes that move to Spurs. He knows how to score at White Hart Lane. That's what we want to see. 2012-2013 season in France, he got 21. 13-14 season, 16 goals, 5 assists. He played on the flanks a lot. This is when he's now moved to Dortmund. 14-15 season, 25 goals, 11 assists, still out wide, and a decent return, to be honest with you. 15-16, 39 goals, I believe, I've got there. 39 goals, I could be wrong about that one, looks a bit booky, but that's the season again. He done all right in the defeat to Liverpool. 16-17, he got 40 goals, 5 assists, and 17-18, which is right now, 21 goals, 23 assists. So what we're getting is someone that can get 20 goals a season, at least I hope, in the Premier League. Personally, what I like to see from him, because I watched all of his goals from last season and his goals this year, on top of knowing him, on one hand, it's bad that a lot of his goals are just in the box and he's not creating his own goals. You guys know I'm big on creating your own goals, and I believe the top class players do that. But on the other hand, that shows someone that knows the right place to be. Scoring headers, he's getting cute little flick-ons. He's very good at placing it into the far or the bottom corner, to be honest with you guys. Like I said, a lot of his goals come in the area, so he's someone that can get on the end of it. How many times, I know Bellerin can't cross, but how many times has Bellerin putting the ball, someone's putting the ball, and there's nobody gambling? Even Lacazette against Chelsea, when Bellerin did it, he weren't gambling. Aubameyang, a lot of these finishes, they whistle across, a lot of his finishes historically in Germany, it whistles across the goal line and he taps it in and gets something on it. That's the marks of a real good striker. So I'm happy with that. He'll gamble, he'll take something on, and if you gamble, you're more likely to score more goals. I like the fact that we've got an aerial presence with him. I like the fact that he's going to run in beyond and run in behind. He's quick. Not only is that going to scare defenders and play into Ozil's hands, Lacazette can get into them little pockets of space, or whoever plays with him. So I'm happy at that, to be honest with you. He gets spoken about of having a bad attitude and all these things, but what I see is resilience. Like I said, he's come a long way from being a reborn in France, and he had a lot of doubters, and still to this day he's got a lot of doubters. I was one of them at a time. I've always believed in his ability since he's come a long way from the France days, but I've always been a bit sceptical, admittedly. I can appreciate he's a good player. There's no harm in that. So I like the fact that he knows how to score goals, all sorts of goals. Mainly the tap-ins, because we need someone that just puts it in anyways. We like to walk it in anyways. The movement is what impresses me. Obviously, his goal-scoring pedigree is there as well. He obviously can excite. He's known to do a step-over from time to time. His assist rate can improve if we're being harsh. Not that he's a striker at the end of the day, but on the other hand, if you're not scoring, you need to be assisting. And he's a striker, so if he scores goals, we won't care about his assists. But just on the basis of improvement and what I've seen, I do think he can improve in the assist aspect, man. So, yeah, man, he doesn't really create his own goals. So that could be a problem if we're not going to play direct or to his strengths, similar to the struggles you've seen with Lacazette. Because sometimes he's been playing poor, but more time he's making the runs and he's not being hit. So if we're not going to, again, we're not going to get the best out of, even though Lacazette's our top goal scorer and Aubameyang's going to come in and lift the club, we're not going to get the best out of them if we don't meet them halfway. They have to adopt to how we play, but we also have to adopt to them. There's no point not playing to their strengths if you're going to not sign these guys. He can be a bit wasteful in front of goal at times, in my opinion. He does miss a couple sitters, but eventually he does score. Hopefully we finally get someone that's going to... I don't think he can beat Harry Kane, at least at this moment in time, to be in top goal squad. I'd love to be wrong, and I'm not going to be biased and sit here. Of course, when he signs, I'm going to be shameless and gas him. But we'd like to hope, with him and Lacazette, mainly him because he's in the video, that this is someone that's going to get 20 league goals or close to it. He can't play in the Europa League, which I can't understand why it looks like we're going to sell Giroud, despite for a 31-year-old, 30-odd million. It is great, but it's not a vid about Giroud. But yeah, in all, he's got, that's in the way. He's got, for Dortmund, 212 games, 141 goals. I think it's 213 now because he played the other day. 36 assists, so that shows he can improve in the assist aspect. Saint Etienne, 97 appearances, 41, 26 goals. So the last 3 years, he's really had a purple patch on top of coming a long way in France. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, he can play through the middle. He'll offer us an outlet. I do think his general play can improve, but it's nowhere near bad. It's actually quite good, to be honest with you. Unlucky to have a goal disallowed against Spurs at Wembley earlier on in the season as well. So yeah, he's got elite mentality. He's come a long way, man. I know every year he's linked with Madrid, he's linked with this. City bidded for him the first year Pep was there, if you remember. I remember seeing that on Sky Sports. But yeah, man, obviously the professionalism is going to scare people because he has been seen doing live feeds and getting a bit excited. And he can have his head turned, clearly. I mean, let's just say he had a mad season where he bagged 40, 50 and Madrid came and offered him a contract. I'm just making up make-believe. His head could be turned. But yeah, apparently he really wanted to move. His dad really wanted to move. It's important to remember that it hasn't actually happened. So yeah, man. He can give us something that we're lacking. He can ultimately lift the club. We just got to get behind him, let him adapt. Obviously, we hope he hits the ground running. But yeah, man, credit to him, to be honest, with you. I still want a winger. I still want a centre-half. I still want a defensive midfielder, to be honest, especially when you consider Mkhitaryan could play central midfield in a free. We have some good attacking options, but we need to balance the side. But anyways, man, guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's and N'Golo Kante. I'm signing out, getting a comment, subscribe, and do the rest, man. Aubameyang looks to be signing for Arsenal. Welcome to the club, my G. Cheap.